All right, welcome. Thanks for coming to my video. I am wearing my Iowa Needs PE teacher shirt. You can barely see it there, but glad that you're able to stop by and check out this video and kind of what we do here at Johnston Middle School. A little intro about myself. This is my name's Eric Shafer. This is my, I think, 11th year teaching PE. I've done special ed in my past. I've done some behavior stuff before, but I've kind of settled into this position of PE and I'm just loving it. And so love to share these and just learn from others and hopefully give you some things to take away as well. That's a little bit about me. I guess our purpose for today and for this video, again, it's a little bit wonky because of coronavirus and just how we're going to be doing things and doing school differently next year. But initially, I think this is just a plan or an idea for large schools, I suppose, that are team teaching. If you have multiple teachers that team teach with a large class size, this is a way to maybe distribute the students according to smaller groups. Then additionally, maybe just getting ideas, program ideas, things that you can have your kids do with the equipment that you have in the classrooms that you guys are teaching in. So that's a little bit of the purpose. I guess from there, I'll talk a little bit about our school. Our school has got about 1,200 students. That's grades 8th and 9th. We have 3 full-time PE teachers for that. We all teach about 7 out of 8 PE classes. Occasionally we might do 6 and then have a study hall, but we teach 7 out of 8. And so we're able to see a lot of our students, and we team teach primarily. So all 3 of us are in the classroom together with our rostered students of anywhere from 20 to 40 students. So sometimes we have some large class sizes. So we initially got into doing the why, I guess, on why we do this is to break apart, get into smaller class sizes, which is something that we might be looking at doing even more of once we get back to school in the fall here. So what we do, I guess I should talk about that. I talked about why we do it, but what we do, I guess, is we do mini tracks. And this is kind of a play off of what our high school does with tracks. So they have 4 tracks that last a whole semester long. So a student might be in team games and they'll take team games for a full semester, or they might take weightlifting for a full semester, or they might do like outdoor pursuits for a full semester. We thought, how can we bring that type of choice, student choice, into our classroom at a middle school level, but at the same time not be doing the same thing week in, week out with our students, and also just kind of addressing the different standards that we want to get our students to be looking at and learning. So we did mini tracks, which are 3 weeks long. So a student will be make a selection, and then based off of their selection, hopefully we can get them into the mini track that they select. So all 3 of us PE teachers will be in charge of a mini track for 3 weeks. And then we have students use a Google form to sign up for the mini track of their choosing. Obviously, we do need to cap some of the groups so that we don't have a huge number in one of our mini tracks and a really small number in another mini track. So that's just something that we've done. And it's been a great success I've found so far. Prior to going to this mini track system, and I guess still primarily we are a fitness-based program, so we don't do a lot of sports. So initially some of our athletes weren't as excited about what we do, but this has been a way to get a little more student choice back into it. And just get a little more excitement into our program. And I think it's definitely done that. We've also just been able to get some ideas from the kids on some things that they might be interested in doing. So I'm going to share my screen here with you, and you'll be able to see, hopefully here. If I can figure this out. What our track selection, what our Google form looks like. So when it's time to select a track, we have our students come together in the large gym, and they bring their iPad. So we're a one-to-one iPad school. So they bring their iPad into the gym. They take a seat in their attendance spots that we've given them at the start of the year or the start of the semester. And then we have this Google form, the link to it, on our Moodle page. And we usually have it closed so that students can't log into it. They can't sign up early before their PE class, because sometimes we do cap it on when students do it, so in order that they logged in. So this kind of negates that a little bit, that we put the brakes on them so they can't sign up before their class time or before like other students are logged into their iPad. So we have them take a seat. We give directions. We talk about what these tracks will look like for the upcoming weeks. Just some different things that we're going to be doing with them. And we have kind of a ready, set, go. We open it up, the link up, and then they sign up. So they'll sign up and they'll put their teacher, whether it's Miss Beer, Mr. Flack, or myself, Mr. Shafer, and then they'll sign up for their class period, 3A, 3B, things like that. They put their last name, their first name, and then here we have kind of a preference chart. So this way it helps us if maybe a kid really wants to do the drag and fit class, but they're not able to because of numbers. We'll at least try to get them in their second choice. And this is also a good way because we track that, then we have these to look back on. So we look at it and the kid's like, man, I've never gotten my first choice. We can make some changes then, and we can look back and say, yeah, Johnny hasn't gotten his first choice this whole semester. So we try to make that happen then. So they click which one is their first choice or second choice. And then we just had some pictures here to kind of show what exactly. I know we talked about it, but when we did our introductions for the mini units, the mini tracks, but pictures just to help kids as they're filling this form out so they know. So drag and fit on this mini track choices, we had 2 fitness ones, but drag and fit was one we did in the weight room, kind of a play off of CrossFit. Workouts, they did different workouts of the day, a little more higher intensity than maybe our weightlifting or personal fitness group, which is another one. That one met in the large gym. And then lastly, we had elementary cardio, which met in the small gym. And again, that one's more just elementary cardio-based games that even middle school kids still love, and especially when you kind of do some throwbacks, they remember them when they were in elementary school there. So that's kind of the how we do it. And then I was going to show you our responses. Actually, I'll go back to that. So as we look at this, the Google form, I could click on responses right here. Hopefully you guys can see that all well there. But click on responses, and then that gives us kind of an Excel sheet of their responses. And then we separate them from class. We start divvying them out. We make new sheets so that we can see, all right, these are all the students in 1A weightlifting. These are all the students in 2B drag and fit. And then from there, we maybe skim numbers off so that we can get our numbers a little more balanced. Other things you'll kind of see in that response is sometimes, especially if we do like a teams game mini unit, we actually start breaking kids down into teams, just so that they can try to balance the teams, you know, and then they know when they come in, like, hey, I'm on the yellow team, I'm on the blue team, and they just know right away that that's the team they're on. You don't have to waste time with it. You just do it before the class even starts. Other things on the responses sheet, once we separate them from the responses sheet, I should say, I'd show that to you, but again, it has some student names on there, and so we won't do that. But you guys can anticipate, I think, what a Google form or Google Excel sheet response looks like. So the Google Sheets then, after we've done that, we put the dates that they're in class, and then something that we've done with administration is had all students be on our attendance rosters. So when we take attendance, I can see all of Miss Beer, all of Mr. Flax, and myself's class. So at times it's kind of hard when you're going through attendance because you have 90-some students, but it makes it work for when we do a system like this. So I have my Excel sheet when I'm taking attendance on day 1 of Dragon Fit, if I'm running that mini course, and Johnny's not here and Sally's not here, I'm going to count them absent on my Google form, and then I go back on Infinite Campus and I can mark them absent, right? Or mark them tardy if they're late. That's just a way we do it. And then I can also track grades. So I'll plug in grades for what I think those students earned that day. And then additionally, I only grade though the students that are on my roster. So I do have to go back in. It's a little more work on the backside, I guess, because I got to look in on the different tracks. And again, then I sort by teacher. So I look at all my students and then I fill in their grades on Infinite Campus, but I only do my students when it comes to plugging in grades. But I will grade all students regardless of whose teacher they're rostered to on our Google form. So that's kind of how that works. Pause that sharing there of the screen. And so that's how we do it. I guess for me now, some ideas that we've done thus far just with our different mini tracks. And again, these could be, I mean, you can pick. And what we've actually done too is on one of the Google Forms at one point in time, we said, what's a mini track that you would want to do for 3 weeks? You know, and just got some different ideas that maybe we wouldn't have thought of as teachers. And so we've implemented those. I think one of them was like a Ninja Warrior course. I think kids were excited about that, and they did some different courses around the gym, and we just set up the courses like that. The elementary cardio, I believe, was another idea from the students. So again, ask the kids, and they'll probably tell you some things that they would be engaged in and want to do. We've done team games, and on that one, we usually do it in the large gym where we split the gym with our curtain. So we have chook ball and pylon ball going on with those. I think we've done floor hockey as well. I think I'll show you some videos here from my Twitter account. I wish I would have taken some more videos just so you could see some different things that we've done, but it'll at least give you an idea of that. So team games with chook ball and pylon ball. We've done a yoga / flexibility mini track. We've done Dragon Power 1, Dragon Power 2. We've done Dragon Fit. I think I showed you that. That was on the CrossFit type thing. We've done Dragon Speed and Agility, where we did different kind of combine tests, things that test their athletic ability. And we've even had them kind of pre-test, post-test those, just so students kind of have a number to get to, which has been really good. We've had team and partner workouts. We've done fitness videos. We did cardio walking. We did court sports, which was really a positive one. We had our hockey, or not our hockey, court sports, I'm sorry, our tennis team had probably like 30 some tennis rackets and tennis balls close, and our tennis courts are real close within walking distance. So court sports, we did tennis, where we did doubles. We did, I think some of the groups even had 3 if maybe they're a little less experienced. And then we did kind of a, I can't think of the game, like Hoover ball kind of thing where you're throwing the ball over to the other side, like a stability ball with that court sports. Just kind of varied it up so that kids had something different to work on. And that was a really good one that we had kids think about. I think even at one point I allowed some soccer kids to play some soccer tennis. So just be open to different things, especially if kids are, if you know they're going to be active, and play some activities that they're engaged in, interested in, go for it. We've done med balls for 3 weeks. We've done a lot of different team building ones. We've offered that one multiple times. That one has been a good one to come back to. We did battle ropes. We have, I don't know, probably 10 battle ropes. So we just hooked that up to an anchor, and kids can do that with groups of 3. Each have their own battle rope then. Elementary cardio, like I talked about, personal fitness, kickboxing. We got a grant from our PTO to purchase some kickboxing stuff in collaboration with a martial arts studio in the area. And so that was a really good one too. Kickboxing, obstacle courses, like I talked about. We did sideline soccer. I think that was another one that the students really recommended. They said they wanted to play more soccer, and so that's a good way to play, where you have some soccer players, but also players that might not be soccer players, but they can still be successful in that game and be a part of the team. There's more activities that we've done, but those are the ones that I could think of anyways offhand. A couple details, I guess, about what we do too. Again, I think we capped each track at about 35 students. And again, with that, some smaller classes, you might have had some balance issues, but it wasn't a problem equipment-wise to handle 35. So that was kind of where we capped it. I would suggest capping it according to your student population and according to the equipment you have. But that's just something to think about. Again, most of the time it was pretty balanced, but if you had a smaller class, I might have had 35 in team games because that was a pretty popular one, and maybe yoga only had 10, but it still worked for me. Some other details for us, our 2nd and 6th hour, because there was only 2 teachers teaching during that time, you only had 2 offerings in for the students when they signed up. And that was just something they knew that they did. Some positives from doing this, obviously student choice. I mean, big time, kids can get with the friends that they want to be with. We always try to stress that students pick things that they're interested in though, and not just because their friend Billy is doing it. But at middle school, you have kids that follow and do what others do, but hopefully they're picking something that they want to do, that they're interested in doing. And then it's a good callback in terms of, like, if a kid's not participating, you can be like, man, we saved a spot for you in here, team games. Like I said, we had to cap it. We have kids that are upset they didn't get into it. And you have a kid that maybe isn't participating real well. It's a great conversation piece on, like, I mean, rather than grades being a factor in your discussion on, participation, it's more on, you have teammates that are counting on you, and I have kids in another mini track that are upset because they didn't get into this team games, and you're not giving very good effort, and so kind of earn your spot kind of thing. That's been great positives for us. Another positive is it's a great opportunity for me as a teacher to impact students that are outside of my roster. So we have kids that are in different classes, and because they're with you for 3 weeks, you just get to impact them differently than you would team teaching. So that's another positive. The negatives, I think maybe only one that I can think of, maybe two. The first one is there's some students on your roster that you might not see for 2 weeks if they don't pick the mini track that you're doing. And we don't disclose what mini track we're doing, so they just pick the mini track, and then when it comes time to go to the mini track that they signed up for, and we post, I should say that too, we post like on Friday what mini track they got into, so then next week they know where to go and so forth. But they don't know who the teacher is until that time. We don't allow switching either. So those are some details I forgot to talk about earlier. Sorry about that. Again, negatives though. So you have a student on your roster that you might not see for about 6 weeks if they don't sign up for the mini track that you're doing. So there's been times where I'll have a conference with a parent-teacher conference, and I'm looking at this student in front of me and I'm thinking, man, I do not know how they've been doing, you know, in terms of their day-to-day, and I can't give them a lot of information. But usually what I do then is ask the kid, usually they're there at the parent-teacher conference with me on what mini track they're doing. And I'm just honest with the parent. I'll say, I haven't been with them, but according to my cooperating teachers, they are doing a fabulous job. And even just let the kid kind of run with it a little bit. Like, tell me what you've been doing in your mini track. Did you enjoy it? What didn't you enjoy? So then you can still have a little bit of a dialogue there. But that would be one of the negatives. The second negative would be making the cuts, right? It's like being a middle school coach and saying who's on, not necessarily who's on A team, B team, but there are kids that might not make it because of numbers, not because of their ability level at all, but because of numbers and getting the numbers balanced in classes and mini tracks. You might have to tell kids no. And sometimes they're great kids, you know, and so it's hard to be like, I'm sorry, but our numbers are full already in that. But to make it fair for the students in that mini track, to make it fair for the teachers, that's just what we do. And usually they're very understanding on it, but it's definitely, it can be challenging, right? All right, so I think with that, I'll show you, again, this is not a great way to do it, and I wish that I had more things to show you, but here is this is just my Twitter account, but some different videos, I guess, of things that we've done with our mini units. This is actually a large scale game that you can play in a team games called Dragon Ball. I can answer any questions on these large scale games at the end too. I believe this is going to just be posted, this video, and then I will share, or I'll be available then online to talk about it. So this is our team games one here. So we had, I believe this is pylon ball, yep. And then you can see the curtain just right here, maybe, as it comes back around. There's a curtain right here that separates the gym. And so we'll play, yep, there's a curtain right there. We'll play another game on the other side of the gym, like this. So this is a split large gym where we did floor hockey on one side. So again, you can have 4 teams within your group or class of team games. So this is our floor hockey, and then I think we played capture the ball on the other side, not capture the ball. Here's our weightlifting group that we've done before. I think this was our weightlifting 2 group because they're doing maybe like a landmine Tabata style workout. So again, you can do some different things there. Again, I talked a little bit about our kickboxing equipment that we got. So we got a grant to buy that stuff. And that was a lot of fun just for the kids to get in. They grab gloves and they grab a big Wave Master, and we give them different things to do, and we run it on a projector so they know when to go and when to rest and things like that. This here is our court sports. Again, we did tennis on this, and yeah, just had a lot of fun out there playing. Some of them were experienced in it, some weren't, but it worked out great. I think with our med ball unit, we did this med ball crossfire type game, and so kids one team was on one side throwing their med balls at big stability balls, trying to knock the stability balls to the other side, while team 2 was on this north side throwing the med balls at the stability balls, trying to get them to go south. That was, again, just another way for us to do med balls, but kind of make it interesting, try to make it fun and game-like, kind of similar to the crossfire game that was around way back when. That's a final. So I think that's it. I'll stop sharing my screen there. And again, yeah, I will be available, I hope anyways, to answer any questions. But if you think of anything that you have questions about, things like that, let me know and I'll try to answer those. If I'm not available on here live, which I hope to be, my email is Eric, ERIC, .Shafer, and I'm going to write it down here too. And Shafer is SHAFER at johnston.k12.ia.us. Hopefully there's a better way to do that. There probably is, and it might even be posted. There it is. Not the best way to do that. But anyways, thanks for watching. Hopefully you gained something from this. Yeah, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks again.